Have you ever watched a film or read a book, even played a video game and gone, whoa, I was not expecting that, or oh, I did not see that coming? Any good narrative has its twists and turns, reveals and revelations that make you rethink everything you've seen so far in the story. I think it's safe to say BIONICLE has its handful of shell-shocking and even terrifying reveals that pull you in and make you feel immersed in the universe it's being built into. These are the top 10 BIONICLE plot twists. First at number 10, the Red Star revelation has definitely turned the BIONICLE story on its head, and not necessarily in a good way either. After someone dies in the story, they are teleported to the Red Star to be repaired, and are then sent back, unless they have no body to go back to. If they've been disintegrated, absorbed, or even eaten for instance. It makes sense and ties in with other revelations on the list as well. The infamous Red Star has also been around since 2001, having had an effect on certain parts of the story throughout the decade. However, now the heavy price of death all of a sudden feels as light as a feather and means little to nothing. As living things, death is inevitable, but we fight to prolong that day, and it's something we instinctually are afraid of. These same emotions and thoughts apply to our biomechanical buddies. They don't want to pop their clogs either. But now that we know that they have a second chance, that feeling of risk isn't as gripping as it once was. Next at number 9, anti-dermis being pterodax in 06. Oh Terry, you never cease to have your hand in the plot jar, do you? Even when we thought Pterodax was defeated in 2003 by Takanuva, he continued to exist as an essence known as anti-dermis, a sickly green coloured gas that, when in contact with, or even around in an immediate radius, influences you and makes you vulnerable to persuasion. Which is why the Piraki used it in their Zamaspheres to take over the island of Voinui by enslaving the local Matoran. Little did they realise that their minds were like putty in Pterodax's hands, and they were nothing but pawns to put his plans into motion once again. You should have really stayed in the Dark Hunters, guys. Coming in at number 8, Takua being Takanuva. The 7th Toa reveals something pleasantly unexpected. Turns out our original and beloved chronicler is the prophesied 7th Toa. This is revealed in the BIONICLE Mask of Light movie when Jala gave him a helpful push and Takua takes responsibility of the Evoki and becomes Takanuva, the Toa of Light. It gives Takua room to grow and mature as a character and become the hero he was destined to be. At number 7 we have the Toa Nuva originating from Kardanui. When we first saw the Toa Nuva on the beach in bits and pieces, it's always been a question of where did they come from? This question is teased but never answered until 2008 in the Legends Book 10, Swamp of Secrets, when it's told that before arriving on the shores of Matanui, they had been sent to Kardanui to fight the sentient lightning bolts known as the Evoker. Afterwards, they sealed themselves inside Toa canisters that were being held in the Kordrax. They were then put into stasis until the events of 2001, where our story began. Next at number 6, the Sohless magma system. It's a small universe after all. I don't know about everyone else, but I did not expect anything beyond the Matoran universe. So introducing the Sohless magma system was a huge change in scenery and lore, introducing different species, cultures and mysteries into BIONICLE. However, it was a lot of lore to dump onto the fanbase in the 2 years it had. It would have been much better handled if the BIONICLE line wasn't cancelled in 2010. It's a big reveal and reminds us that we are merely a small part in this expanded universe. Following up at number 5, the purpose of the Bohrok. Bohrok was seen as terrifying monsters that reeked the island of Matanui. But there was so much more to them than that. Their strong desire to clean was later revealed in Legends 10 Swamp of Secrets, as well as several other things. The Bohrok had a purpose in the bigger picture by being a part of Matanui's bodily functions, meaning from a certain perspective, they were actually providing help by cleaning the surface of Matanui. Now at number 4, the Bohrok being Matoran. As well as the Bohrok having good intention to their actions, it is actually revealed that the Bohrok are former Matoran who have undergone this transformation into the Bohrok we know and love. This is also in Legends 10, along with pretty much every other huge reveal it seems. This changed how we looked at the Bohrok, not just as mean cleaning machines, but as fallen Matoran. This is one of the few disturbing plot points in Bionicle. Next up at number 3, the Toa Nuva are not the first Toa. I dread to think what it would feel like to be one of the only 7 of a species. Oh wait, they're not. At the end of 2003's storyline, Vakama reveals to Takenuva that they are not alone, and they are not the first Toa to exist. And this nicely leads on to 2004 with Vakama and the Toa Metru. Like many points on this list, this makes the world of Bionicle grow and bring more opportunities to the future story. At number 2, we have the Matoran Universe reveal. After being buried for more than 10 years and left untouched, Matanui finally awoke. Little did we know that the entire universe was set inside of a gigantic robot. There are hints here and there, but nothing concrete enough to be picked up by the majority of the Bionicle fanbase, and anyone who proclaimed the idea was seen as crazy. It's a plot point that brings the Matoran universe into a different light. More things make sense, as well as other things throwing your brain for a loop. It also brings more meaning to the name Bionicle, and any plot revelation that reveals that there's purpose for a name of a franchise is definitely one to be given in high regard, especially one of such colossal proportions. Finally, that number 1 spot belongs to Pterodax's takeover. If you thought revealing that the world being a giant robot was insane enough, then how about the fact that the villain you've tried to stop is now in control of that said robot? After you spent all this time trying to prevent this from happening, only to end up falling right into the trap of the Makuta. It was a heartbreaking moment as many sacrifices seemed in vain, including our good old Ice Toa Matoro. But you know what they say, the darkest part of the night is always before the dawn. Pterodax's reign is short-lived, as Matanui finally wakes up and fights just in time to go back to sleep again, and everyone's happy. Except for, you know, Pterodax, Matoro, and all the Bionicle characters who cannot return to party because they have no body to go with. That was just our thoughts. What are yours? Post your own top 10 Bionicle plot twists in the comments below, and feel free to continue the discussion on the TTV message boards at board.ttppodcast.com. Thank you for watching.